What's up, YouTube? So today we're outside with it, and I'm gonna be talking about fake Pokemon packs. Let's get that in frame here for you guys to see. Now, this is absolutely crazy to me. First of all, let's just get right into it. Fake Pokemon packs, real Pokemon doesn't come with these like ridged edges. And I don't know if you can tell, but the front of it is like all kind of distorted in a way. But yeah, this doesn't look good. First of all, the age, right? Let's even like look at the like pack itself. It's bleeding over to the wrong side. Okay, fake Pokemon. I found these walking around a flea market. It was like an open-aired flea market, and the guy was selling them for $1 a pack. If you know anything about Pokemon, you know that Surging Sparks, Destined Rivals, different packs like that, they don't sell for $1. Prismatic Evolutions, they're selling for like 7 to like sometimes $10 a pack. So let's go over the outside really quickly. Obviously, you got the ridged edges. That's a telltale sign. This video is basically an informational video for those of you who are just getting into Pokemon. I do not want you to get scammed, so please listen up. If you ever see a pack with ridged edges like this, just know they're fake. They're not real. It's crazy because I actually just started getting into Pokemon, and the amount of fake packs that I've seen in the market already has been absolutely insane. I think if I can count, I can count on one hand how many times I've ran into fake packs like this. And it's funny, if I didn't know any different, and I was just getting into the hobby, I would think that this is a real pack. That's the scary part. Like you see underneath here, let's get this in frame. It has all of this awesome lettering, Tricks, the Pokemon company. I mean, it's obviously got the logo at the front. It's got the trading card game. It's got the big Surging Sparks. Like, off rip, this looks like a real pack, which is actually really scary for someone who's just getting into the hobby. To see something like this out and about, say like you're not like me and you don't have a lot of friends who are already in the hobby that you can call up and be like, hey, they're selling this pack. So it's crazy because this pack I got for $1, right? I got it for $1, and obviously you can sit here and say, well, like, obviously I'll know they're fake if they were $1. No, that's the thing. The first time I ran into fake packs like this was, I think I was at a farmer's market, and there was a table with like Labubus and like those little things that you put on your phone, and then I look down and I see Pokemon. So I asked the dude, I'm like, how much for the Pokemon packs? He said $7. Now, the thing is, you have to put yourself in the mind of someone who is selling a fake item as real, right? If you are selling a fake item as real, and this is the only gripe I have with people who are selling fake Pokemon packs, right? If you're selling them as fake, I get that, and we're gonna get there because that also happened to me. But the first time I ran into a fake Pokemon pack, the person was actually selling them as real. And I posted it on Instagram because I was recording through my Meta Ray-Bans, and I asked everybody, guys, what do you think of this? Do you think this person knew that they were fake, or do you think they knew that they were real? Anyways, long story short, I ended up calling my friend Pokemasta and showing him one of these packs, and he looked at his girl on FaceTime and laughed and showed her. And I said, why? Why are you laughing? It's a Pokemon pack. He said, bro, how much are they charging for those? I said, $7. Why? He's like, don't buy them. They're fake. And I like immediately I hung up because I was like, oh my God, that's really crazy. And he knows a lot about Pokemon, mind you. And this pack is definitely fake, you know. And I look at the guy who's selling them and I go, hey man, just so you know, I don't know if you were aware of this before, but these packs are not real, they're fake. And I think he put on this like facade that that's all news to him, that he didn't know that this Pokemon pack right here was fake. And he was like, oh, thank you so much for telling me. I had no idea. Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing this information with me. And I was like, yeah, no worries, just, those are fake. And so I posted that video online and everyone was telling me I'm complicit in the problem. I should have called the police, or, I didn't read all the comments, but that was one that stood out. And I was like, complicit in the problem, should have called the police. I mean, what are they really gonna do about it? They're not gonna take them away from him. This is insane, And then I also asked the chat, I'm like, guys, do you think he knew that they were fake? And is it wrong that if he comes back next week and still tries to sell them? I mean, the thing is, it's not wrong if you're selling them as fake, in my opinion. So that was the first time I encountered these cards. I didn't buy them because he was charging $7. The second time, I actually bought them to make this video at a flea market. And if you guys stay until the end, we're actually gonna rip this pack. So stay until the end to watch that. So I'm at the flea market and I see another pack just like this because I'm like walking around and I look at the vendor and I'm like, hey, how much for the pack, per pack of Pokemon? And he's like, oh, $1 a piece. I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, can I grab a couple? And he's like, sure. So I grabbed a couple just to make content with, and I told him, I'm like, hey man, do you know that these are fake? And he's like, listen, I'm gonna be honest, I get them in bulk. I buy Amazon returns or some type of return, maybe like Temu or Alibaba. I don't know what he was referencing in terms of returns. And, I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, bro, they're $1. I know the real ones go for around like $10, $7 around there per pack. And, I told him, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a couple, but just so you know, they're fake. And he's like, yeah, I'm not trying to sell them as real and I don't have any guarantees. So that's one way of going about it that I actually respect. The way that I don't respect people going about it is, selling them as real. And that was one thing that made me want to make this video and show you guys, the differences in packs. Guys, a lot of these fakes are gonna have ridged edges. If you see a pack with ridged edges, run away. Because I'm telling you right now, they're fake. And so real Pokemon packs, the artwork on the front doesn't bleed over. As you can see, right? That's the artwork on the front. It doesn't bleed over. That's another telltale sign. Another telltale sign is if you see the age range being 6+ at the top there. Let me try and get that in focus. It's bleeding over to the side. Real Pokemon packs are gonna have it displayed really nice and neat. And yeah, so without further ado, we can, go into the outer, edges of it in more detail. But I feel like the best way to show you guys is showing you what's inside here, because I ripped one of these off camera and it's absolutely ridiculous what's inside. I can't believe they're trying to do this with Pokemon. Granted, if every Pokemon pack was whatever is inside of here, I'm sure a lot of us would be rich and happy, but it would probably devalue it. Basically, every single one of these Pokemon from like China, are God packs. And I'll show you guys that right now. So we're gonna rip this together. On camera. So that's the fake pack. Right off the bat, We have crazy cards, right? I'm just gonna go through each one of them. Was that backwards? Was this card backwards? So you have a Pikachu VMAX, right? It doesn't even, the art just doesn't even look real on these. I'm gonna be honest. Let's just go through them. Okay, so this pack isn't the God pack that I was referring to, but you see like halfway through and we pull another Pikachu VMAX. Like, I mean, this just doesn't make sense. Let's go, what's next? Okay. Okay, they even feel real. So the one telltale sign is that the hits were in the middle, right? We got these two hits, and they're like, that's crazy. You can actually see through the cards. Wow. Okay, so that's another telltale sign that you have fake Pokemon. You can see through the cards. Like when I put it on my hand, right? You can't see the Pokeball, but when I put it in the light, the Pokeball is shining. If you ever want to know if you have fake or real cards, just put them up to the light. Yeah, this doesn't even, they don't feel real. Like it's literal, like it's like printed on here. Like I'm gonna rip this one. Look at that. It's like a sticker. It doesn't feel like a real card would. It's like there's like a film. It just, they feel like, Pokemon cards aren't supposed to like feel like this. Pokemon cards almost feel like cardboard. This feels like paper. That's another telltale sign. And you see how you could see through that card if I'm putting it in sunlight? See how you could almost see through this card? You could see the Pokeball. Fake, easy to tell. So I hope you guys enjoyed this educational video. If you want to see more content like this, let me know in the comments. Make sure to follow and like the video and check out my other videos on Pokemon on my channel. See you guys next time. Peace out.